Welcome to GAiN Europe. My name is Vanessa Pizzuto, and today with me is Richard Stephenson. Hi.
Hi, hello.
It's great to have you with us.
It is great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And before I ask you about your thoughts about GAiN and Europe, tell us a bit about yourself, because for some people here, it'll be the first time they see you.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name's Richard Stephenson, and I am blessed to serve as the Associate Treasurer for the General Conference, and also serve in the capacity of Chief Information Officer for the World Church.
What?
Delighted to be here. That's a mouthful, but delighted to be here.
Explain the second part to me. What's that?
Chief Information Officer. So part of my portfolio at the General Conference is overseeing the digital strategy and the various technology teams and technology initiatives.
Great.
And so I kind of oversee that area of the church.
Exciting from a financial point of view or from a strategic point of view, or both?
Both.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
Good. Because what I want to ask you is, look, here together we bring people from communication background, IT background, technology, and for the first time this time, mission and personal ministries.
Yeah, personal ministries.
Yeah, and it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of time, and it is some money that goes into this. We have 250 people. And some people might be, well, what's with all that? Do we really need this to spread the gospel? What are your thoughts? What do you think?
So a couple things come to mind. First of all, as a church, sometimes we build silos from one another. Sometimes those silos can be geographic. They can be based on country, or they can be based on ethnic group or language. And of course, God is a God of all people. He calls all people. Yeah. And so being here at GAiN Europe, it is a reminder that we are part of a worldwide church serving a God that is indeed discipling everyone, calling all peoples to Him, every language and nation and tribe and tongue and people. Our God is calling all of us. And so this is a representation of that. And I might say also, I think this is a foretaste of heaven. And I don't want that to sound cheesy, but when we're in heaven, heaven is not going to be EUD, NAD, SAD, TED. Heaven is going to be God's family. It's going to be God's children, you and I as sister and brother. And so this kind of helps us get into that mindset that we have a God, we serve a God that has called all of us to Him.
Great, great, great. So I wonder, I know we are halfway, or not even halfway yet, and I know it's your first time attending GAiN Europe, but what would be the highlights so far? What would be maybe one or two things you go like, I have to tell my family about this?
Well, you know, we came out of a fantastic worship and Vesper service last night. Was absolutely blessed. Our sacred service this morning with Pastor Duda was fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah.
He's an incredible teacher, scholar, pastor. And then, but I think my favorite was what we just saw this afternoon. And it's what Klaus Popa has described as the potluck model.
Yes.
And I love that terminology because it means we all come together, we all contribute what we have, and then there's something much more special created than what maybe I could have done myself individually.
And this is at the core of GAiN Europe.
Yes.
The idea that we create cross-media projects, and now it's even way far away that not just Europe, right? And so if you have a media team that can contribute with a camera, you do that, and the other person does another.
And that's what we just saw, was this collaboration between SAD and EUD, creating this story of the race car driver in Argentina.
Fantastic.
My greatest victory.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved it that it is God's church coming together. And let me add this,
yes, go for it.
if you don't mind. You know, in the Garden of Gethsemane, just before Jesus went to the cross, his prayer was that his people would be one. Yeah. He prayed for you and I. He prayed for his people today that we would be one. And I believe that is the great need of our church today, is for us to come together as one people, to know that we have been called by one God to advance the mission and message that he's given to us. And so I look at Christ's prayer in Gethsemane, him kind of pouring his heart out to his Father just before that sacrifice. And I think, this is what maybe he had on his mind, praying more of his people to come together, to create projects, to work together, to overcome these artificial boundaries that we draw around ourselves, and to work together.
That's a lovely vision.
That's what is special to me, and I love seeing this here at GAiN Europe. I can't wait for next year.
Exactly, and I was going to say, to wrap up, if you have one message that you could share with people who have not attended GAiN Europe yet, one thing that will sell it, what would that be?
Yeah, so my message is, God has gifted you with gifts. Take a step forward. Don't worry. Don't be held back by insecurities, by thinking that I don't have enough or that I'm not good enough. That's the enemy speaking to us. Take the ministry forward. Ask God to take what you give, and he will multiply into something special. So take that step forward. Say, I will go. I will go and be a part of your call, Lord. And to understand that each of us have been chosen, and that the calling on our life isn't arbitrary, it's not incidental or accidental, but it's intentional. God has placed a calling on your life. God's placed a calling on our lives. And what's really neat is Scripture tells us that calling is irrevocable. God doesn't make mistakes. So go forward in confidence, knowing that that calling is secure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to
It's
visit
my
us.
pleasure.
And
Thank you for having
sharing.
me. Thank you.